Guys, there's so much seed ready to go into the ground. It's so exciting. Let's get it going. Let's hammer down. It's officially a Plant 2024 here at New Age Custom Farming. Today is the first day of planting. It is April 22nd, I believe. It was broken. Care to elaborate?
It was not working.
Mason just admitted he made a mistake, but the mistake will affect him the most. It turns out they haven't started sorting the cattle yet, and since I'm here, they asked me to help. I don't know how much of it, though, we're gonna film, because if you have ever sorted cattle before, you know, it can just sometimes be like a chaotic, sticky situation, just a lot going on. So the cattle that we're all bringing down are all the pregnant heifers that are about to calve, and some of these look like they're real close. So, like, they're pretty bagged up, meaning they have a lot of milk in their udders. So good thing they're going home to the dairy. So how this works is Dalton has a list of... What?
Are we keeping the rust?
Close the top, he said. Dalton has a list of all of the heifers that have to go back to the dairy, and then we bring them all down to this pen that we're in right now. And then we sort out the ones that aren't going back. They go back up to the top of the hill, and the ones that are going back to the dairy stay down here. Brandon and I are on the gate duty to make sure that they actually go where they're supposed to go. I think we did a good job. Do you think we did a good job?
We didn't let you through.
Correct. That's all you can ask for. What's your assessment of sorting cattle?
Goes how it always does. Not very well.
I think that went fine.
Could go better.
Okay, what would you do to make it be better?
I don't know. Maybe we'll let you do it next time alone.
No, Avery. That was not bad at all.
No, it wasn't that bad. It's just, you can't go fast. I like to go fast.
Yeah, well, you literally have said it yourself. You can't go fast with cattle.
Did I go fast?
Kinda.
No.
In my assessment of you, you did.
Yeah, I know.
You're aggressive, like always.
I just keep walking. Yeah.
Okay, bye. Love you.
Bye. Emily, Dalton, Brandon, and I just got done sorting cattle. Brandon's going to work on a few things to get our spray trailer finalized and ready to rip. I'm on my way out to take over for Mason, spreading some bean fertilizer. And he's going to run back to the farm, get some seed put on a trailer, and see if he can't make his planter run tonight for just a little bit so he can hit her hard in the morning. We're going to start planting tomorrow with both planters, I think. Going to get both of them rolling. And we will start spraying right behind them, and then I'll be stuck in a sprayer. I'm guessing I'm going to be in the airflow a little bit this summer or this spring, but we will see how things go. Run around, get whatever needs to be done. But like I said, I'm on my way out to take over for Mason, and we will see how that goes. It's been since I did wheat fertilizer last spring. It's been over a year since I ran it, so. And I was green then, and I'm still green now, so we'll see if we can't figure it out. Well, it's all coming back to me here. Mason's got me rolling. We're just spreading some bean ground is what we're doing, so I'm working on the farm right now. I got to do all this. I don't know. There's a screen, 200 pounds an acre is what we're putting on. The auto steer rolling, AC's working. I'm not out in the crazy wind today, so can't complain too much. A little rough ride, a little loud, but I'll put my headphones on, but we're rolling. The thing that's the hardest to get used to in the airflow versus the sprayer that I'm used to running is I got 120 foot booms in my sprayer, so when I pull up to the headland at the end, I got to turn left or right and drive a little ways and then turn, and my muscle memory wants me to keep doing that, whereas in the 60 foot boom, you basically just have to cut the wheel and spin right around and go back. So every time on the headland, I'm like trying to drive down the headland a little ways to make up for the big boom. And this you can't do that. You gotta whip right around, otherwise you don't line up right. So that's the hardest thing to get, that's the hardest habit to break, going back and forth. But other than that, kind of the same concept.
Looks like Mason's getting the final prep done before we hit the field. All right, see ya. They're over there putting the pro boxes on top of the seed tender, which I'm sure we'll talk more about in upcoming videos. Hi, Opie. How are you?
Good.
What are you doing?
I'm getting ready to go plant some turn.
Today?
Right now.
What? You didn't tell me this.
You can go how far we We're gonna go plant corn, I told you no.
Yeah, okay. Like, when are you leaving?
When I get done with this.
All right. Well, conveniently, since I'm at the farm here with Mason, I'm going to hop in with him. So we'll get the live action. This is our 24 row. I think that's all we're going to be using today. And then we also have the 12 row. Mason's up there getting his iPad all hooked up. Also, it's raining. We're gonna have like a pot of gold right here, I guess, because there's sun and it's probably gonna be a rainbow. All right, Greggy's still hurt, so you can give us a play-by-play of what they're doing.
We're gonna plant some corn on corn first, so they just want to make sure the insecticide is all working and everything.
Is that what they're putting in the tank right now?
Yep.
The insecticide?
Yep.
Are you gonna teach me how to drive my 12 row planter?
I don't know how to drive it.
Oh.
I can drive it. I don't know how all the monitor and all that works.
Okay, well, then never mind.
When I used to plant last time, it was just lights that would blink. I can tell you that it was still working.
Yep.
So I've been booted out of them for a few years.
Yeah, you have.
I planted last year, but they set it out in the field and I got me going. It's not terrible.
So they are just running everything through, testing it. Now we're gonna fold it up and head to the field. So they're getting the planter all all checked out and ready out here. We'll ask Mason what's happening. Bree just wants to play. It's officially a Plant 2024 here at New Age Custom Farming. Today is the first day of planting. It is April 22nd, I believe. We are out here in the field. They're getting the planter ready for the last little bit before we get going. I haven't asked any questions because like it's a intense day too of like making sure everything's running on the planter and stuff. But I believe our precision guy just showed up. So we use precision monitors in our tractor for the planter to like know all the ins and outs, which we'll talk about it upcoming in the video or in another video. But the guy who we use is like our technician is here, so I'm assuming something might not be right. Oh, that's it. That's the video. That's planting. Just kidding. It, like, you hype it up so much, and then, like, obviously that wasn't the most exciting thing. It's like, put the planter in the ground, drive. But it is just exciting to get started on this lengthy process. Tiger is over there looking at the seed depth, I'm assuming, and checking it and making sure it's all good. And we're rolling. So like I mentioned earlier, this is a 24 row planter. So this line out here is like the guidance marker line from the planter. So we know where the center of when we turn around would be. They're already stopped down there. I don't know what that means. But I'll show you like what it looks like in the ground after they've planted. So these are the planter rows. So that's a row, that's a row, that's a row, that's a row, that's a row. And there's 24 of them. We'll be planting for a few weeks here, so hopefully we'll get these videos out before we're done planting. Let us know what planting questions you have, and we'll answer them. We just love to be out here in the dirt. Actually, another thing too, as we look closely at this planter wheel track, basically, that's not the right terminology. So the planter will go through and it'll make like a little trench for the seed to be planted into, and then it has two wheels that close it. And so those are also just like the marks you see. But I'm not a planter girly. I don't know all the correct terminology, so we'll let the experts tell us later. Also, right now Mason is planting the headland, so it's the part that goes all the way around the field, and then we'll do like the back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And you can use GPS for that, but when you're setting the perimeter too of your field, getting that all good to go, and then when you're able to go back and forth is when you use the GPS guidance. All fun planting technology that we get to use as farmers, which is super cool that we have all this incredible technology on hand that helps us be more efficient, better for our land, grow better crops, all good things. Did you get all the kinks worked out? Are you happy that you're planting? Mason shows a lot of emotion, as we know. What were you guys, either stopped at the end over there? What was going on?
Just looking at stuff.
Okay. Can you give like a little play-by-play of what you're doing back at the farm?
Putting insecticide in the tank and winterizing the juice out of the planter.
And then out here, when you guys were stopped for a while looking at it, it was broke. Care to elaborate?
It was not working.
Okay. So right now he's not using GPS. He just used, what do you call that arm?
Marker.
The marker arm from the planter to mark where the middle of your next set of rows should be. And so basically he's just following this line right down the middle of the tractor, and that will put the rows where they're supposed to be. And then after this, you'll go to using GPS. Do you care to add any insight to that conversation?
Well, Emily's got it.
I'm a professional.
Or something.
Mason just admitted he made a mistake, but the mistake will affect him the most. So what happened?
So when you plant a field, at least it really matters with the 12 row more than the 24 row, but you always plant the direction that you want to open the field up when you're combining. So you always plant with the left side of the planter to the outside of the field, because the auger on the combine is on the left, so you can dump on the go, and then all your corners match up.
Well, he planted it in reverse.
But I like looking up the right side better going around the field the first time. But then I should turn around and go the opposite direction.
Well, good thing you have lots of fields to practice on again.
Right. You think you can back up like this, Emily?
Hey, did you see me back up the trailer, the cabbage trailer the other day?
It took you a couple minutes, but yeah, you got it.
It didn't take me that long. I did so good.
No one was watching, so.
Yeah, I know. I did so good. I think I can figure it out. have to go slow. Good thing you have sunglasses on, so nobody saw your eye roll, but I saw it. I would figure it out.
You figure out all the technology.
Well, I'm better at technology than some of the older folks we have on this operation.
But then you have to figure out and fix what it says.
It's technology. I can figure it out.
But then you have to figure it out, and then the second part of that statement, then you have to fix.
Okay, give me an example of fixing it, and I'll tell you if I think I can do it.
What would you do for row stock planting?
You go back and you assess why it's not planting. Like, is something blocking it? Is the sensor messed up? Right? These are all logical things.
And you'd be able to then diagnose, but then not call immediately.
Well, Mason, here's the thing. You don't know if you don't try.
Yeah, but I've seen you try.
You haven't seen me try this.
I do know what it would look like.
No. You're wrong. Put me in the 12 row. Another one of our planting videos will explain all the things that are getting in Mason's way so he can't see.
I can't see anything.
But it's helping you with technology, so it's cool.
That's true, but it would be cool if I didn't have 1.5 million miles of wire and monitors everywhere.
Yeah. We plant basically all Pioneer, not basically, we do plant all Pioneer on all of our ground. This is what we're planting in this field. It's a, to quote Mason, a good triple stack for corn on corn, right?
Yeah. It's a good racehorse. Good pivots. That's what we call it.
A racehorse. Okay, so this field was corn last year, it's corn this year, and it's irrigated, so that's a little bit of the conditions. What type of soil? Do you think it's like extra sandy? A sandy loam soil. Whoa. There you go. Mason already messed up his auto steer. Hit the button and work.
It worked. Just a little bit far off.
Now we're on to the GPS portion of the field. How you farming? No hands? The airflow is just casually on the maps.
Tree chilling. What happens when you're out here all the time?
In this one singular field?
Well, just around. See a lot of equipment on the map.
Yeah. Well, Mason, you're how far done with this field?
25 acres.
Like percentage, how far done?
50.
Alright, I'm going to leave Mason to his, so he can plant in peace.
It's true. Just really cutting into my music listening time.
But don't
It
forget.
could give me something to drink.
Maybe.
Orange.
We'll see. Don't forget to film the rest of your experience this evening.
Well, if all is well, the experience will not be changing.
It will be this. Okay, then you can at least say, that's it for our first day of planting. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Something like that.
And if Mason doesn't
Just
say that,
tickled pink.
you'll see that as the end of the video.
Right.
But first day of planting, we'll be wrapping up with this. Mason will just keep taking his little laps around the field. And we've got quite a few more acres to go, so we'll keep moving and cruising. And they're looking at the seed depth over there. Maybe I'll get Avery to talk to me and teach me how to do that. But there you go, Mason. Thanks for letting me tag along and not being
I don't have a choice.
not being too rude to me. Just only a little bit rude. I'll have Avery explain it when they're done with whatever they're doing, but basically they want to change a sensor or try and make it so that it starts dropping the seed sooner, because it's a little delayed. The pivot in this field isn't one that is hooked up to a phone, so we have to stop it here. And we're waiting until it's exactly, what? 90 degrees to stop it. Avery is going to be very enthusiastic and show us about stopping it and the back end of how a pivot irrigation system works. Well, Avery, tell me about this situation.
When it gets to where we need it to go, I'm going to click the button that says stop.
Oh.
And that'll be it. Mason would have done it right. He would have put a park in it, and then it would stop on its own, and I wouldn't have to walk out here.
You know, exercise is good for you, bucko.
Not that good.
Yeah, it is.
So what we were digging for here is this. If you look down the row right here, this is a headland path. And you set the planter in the ground before you get into where you're planting this way. And the planter turns on its own. Well, there's about a 20-inch gap between the last row and the first seed when it turns on. So it's got to turn on a little bit sooner than it has been, and that's what we're digging seed for. So you don't have little like checkered gaps going down the field. So when he sets it in the ground like that, it's got to turn on right. It's got to turn on a little sooner. Coming out of the field into the headland, it's doing pretty good. We could close that gap up a little bit, but when you set it down and go this way, it's a little too slow.
And you guys told him about it, and hopefully he fixed it.
Yep, it's been a struggle with this planter before. So, it is what it is.
Okay, Greggy.
Well, it really isn't what it is. It shouldn't be that way, but we'll get her.